There comes a time in every gay person's life where they have to say those words for the first time to somebody else outside of their own thoughts. And sometimes that experience can go well, sometimes it can be not so good. So when I was 16, all the way back in 1997, before I had the internet, before I knew any other gay people, I'd never actually physically met another gay person until I went to the Flamingo Club in Blackpool in Easter. But I didn't want to tell anyone in my actual everyday life because I was terrified what would happen. Especially in the 90s, it wasn't the safest place to be gay back then. And I was really, really scared that something bad would happen to me if I was to reveal the truth about who I am. So I thought, I'm going to wait until school is finished. So I was doing my GCSEs, and as soon as we finished the last exams, said to my friends at school, how about we celebrate? Why don't we go to a club in London? I found a club where you can get in without ID, because we were all 16 at the time. And obviously you can't go club until you're 18. And so I found a club we can go to on a Friday night in London, Charing Cross, and they'll let us in without checking ID. They're like, yeah, bro, let's go party, celebrate finishing school. So we go to Heaven. And if you're gay and you're from England, you'll know that Heaven is one of the most famous gay nightclubs in the world. But obviously they didn't know that. So we get in, we're walking around, we're having a little dance, having a drink, and they don't say anything, they don't notice anything. And we're in there for maybe 2 hours, roughly. And I decided I was going to go down and chat with one of the sexy barmen. He was my friend. I used to hang out with him quite a lot. So I left them upstairs, and I'm going to chat with my barman friend. And then they come down and like, oi, mate, do you know this is a gay bar? I was like, yeah, why do you think I come here? And the look on their faces is like, what? You queer? I was like, yeah. And they all left. They just left the club immediately, left me on my own. And I was supposed to be staying at their house that night, which was a little bit awkward. So I thought, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I stayed in the club till the end of the night. And then I went back to their house in the morning because I couldn't go back home at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I went back to their house. It was so awkward. They were really annoyed that I had done it that way. And after that day, they never spoke to me again. Which is fair enough. They did not open me with arms and give me a big hug and say, welcome to the club. No, they just didn't speak to me ever again, which was kind of expected. And I didn't really care because at that point I was just about to leave to move to America for a year. And when I came back to England, I was going back to a different town and a different school. So all the people that I knew in my life, I never saw ever again, which was kind of good in a way because it gave me a completely new restart life in a different place. But I kind of wish that it would have gone a little bit better because the person that I told, my friend, he was the football jock. He was the superstar football player in the school, and he was super hot. And I used to walk home with him every day after school, and I really liked him. I hung out with him. I told him, I probably shouldn't have told him, but I told him that he was hot, and he didn't like that. He did not accept that as a compliment. It was, I don't know, more of a threat to him that I found him attractive. And so, yeah, that probably wasn't the best thing to say because they said, who do you think is hot? And I was like, you. And they're like, yeah, that question always has a weird result. When when a straight guy says, who do you fancy? And you tell them, then they can often get a little bit weird about it. So that's the first time I ever told anyone that I was gay. It didn't end up very well. Yeah, it wasn't this amazing experience or rainbows and love. It was a little bit awkward, to be honest. And then after that, I moved to Georgia in the deep south in the USA, and you can imagine that the environment there was not so friendly towards gay people. I went from going to gay clubs with like 5,000 people. I went to gay pride with like 250,000 people, and then wham, back in the closet again, because deep South America is probably still not the best place to be gay, but back in the 90s it was a little bit different. If you want to hear more about that story of being a gay kid in Georgia near Atlanta, if you want to hear more about that story, then I can give you some more details. But yeah, tell me your coming out story, the first time you ever told anyone, whether it was a family or a friend. What was your coming out story? Was it a happy story? Did you stay friends, or did they abandon you and reject you, like it happens in a lot of different cases? Some people have a good reaction, some people have a bad reaction. But at the end of the day, you can either just keep lying your whole life, or you can be honest about who you are. And I'd rather be honest about who I am and let the people who don't want to accept me leave. And then the people who do want to accept me can be a part of my life. So it's like kind of taking out the trash. If you just tell someone the truth and they don't like the truth, then that's their problem, not yours. So if you're gay and you haven't come out yet and you're a bit scared, I know how horrible that feeling is just before you say those words. But you can either just live in constant fear and hiding for your entire life, or you can take the risk of being your authentic self, and whatever happens, happens. And at the end of the day, you have to live your life for you. And if you're going to live your life constantly worrying about what other people think of you, whether they're a friend or family, it's irrelevant. If they don't accept you, then you have no business being in their life, and they have no business being in yours. Find your real family. Find your real connection to people that you love and trust, that aren't going to reject you just because you're attracted to someone that they think that you shouldn't be attracted to. It's none of their business who you're attracted to. So if you like this story and you want more stories of coming out, I've got lots and lots and lots and lots of stories over the last 45 years. So if you want some more coming out stories or any other thing about growing up gay, then drop your questions down in the comments, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.